Hi everybody, this is my annual report comparison on the reports of Oxfam and Barnes& Noble. So to go over the companies, Barnes& Noble is a retail bookstore chain. They have over 600 locations to sell books. In addition to their retail bookstores, they also provide a couple other businesses, including e-readers and a publishing company. To go deeper into that, their Nook segment provides the e-readers. It's a hardware for electronic books where they offer digital books and media, making their all of their media more accessible. Also, their Sterling publishing company adds to their media library so they can publish their own titles. On the other hand, Oxfam is a humanitarian organization. They provide relief for disasters and also advocate to governments and corporations for economic change. Their goal is to achieve a just world without poverty. So looking deeper into that, Oxfam responds to all kinds of disasters, including epidemics, military conflicts, natural disasters. Any time that humanitarian aid is needed, they provide food during famines and war conflicts when people are in need. They also mainly advocate to governments to help provide support as well as corporations. These have the money to help during these troubled times, so they advocate to these groups to help make change. They've called on governments to take action on climate change, epidemics, and the widening gap between the rich and the poor, and also corporations to change their policies considering climate change and becoming more transparent in their supply chains, and just giving back to the communities that they serve. So, looking at their annual reports, first thing I wanted to check out was their narrative formatting and language. So I thought that Oxfam has a stronger formatting and language in their narrative. They show stories of people on the ground giving real care to people in need, and they do this by highlighting them like anecdotes within their report. So this helps the reader get a real view of the kind of change that they're making on the ground. They also use inspiring language towards their donors, and that kind of helps connect their donor support directly to the humanitarian support that they're facilitating. And they're showing the kind of difference that the money coming in can make. So I like the kind of language like, thanks to people like you, so far you've donated this amount, and you've helped distribute 19,141 hygiene kits. This kind of language helps show people exactly what their money's going towards. On the other hand, Barnes & Noble, their narrative formatting and language, they use the report to show how their decisions benefit the shareholders, and they also have to acknowledge in their report the decline in sales and have to provide a plan to sustain their profits. Their profits have been down over the past few years, and they have to use their report to show their shareholders that they're still a profitable business. So, the next topic I want to go over is the letter to the shareholders and the language and content within. So Oxfam has, I thought, a stronger letter to the shareholders. They use it to call to action donors and people that can facilitate the change that they're trying to bring about. They use language like, "We've been called upon to respond to humanitarian disasters." And I think this is a really inspiring way to get people to come to action, raise money, and give them the support that they need. And it gives everybody a sense of duty to take part in this. On the other hand, Barnes & Noble, the language and content in their report really shows a struggle. There is some optimism, but they use a language that really doesn't complement the kind of decision making that they've made over the past few years. So they're saying things like, we have to do a better job, we're still learning, stabilizing, we're redesigning things. They give some optimism that they're planning changes and looking to new markets. But in general, they're highlighting a difficult position that the company's in. And it doesn't give much optimism for the future. I'll give you a second to take a look at my references here. This is where all the information has come from my report. Just closing out, in general, I thought overall Oxfam had a better report, both in their use of language and inclusion of anecdotes from communities around the world. I think their report was more well-rounded and will really drive the reader to facilitate change and take action. So I appreciate you listening to my report, and thank you so much.